Greetings, friends! As you can see, it's a little wet, a little rainy outside. And on days like that, well, gives us a chance to get caught up on things that we need to do inside. I usually prefer to be outside, but on days like this, I don't. Because it's kind of hard to work and get things done when it's all just muddy and yucky outside. And speaking of that, a lot of time we get a lot of our exercise from the things that we do around the homestead. But when it's wet and rainy, or even during these months where it's just like cold and there's not a lot we can do, we do different things to get our exercise in. Like here recently, we've been doing our exercise at the start of the day as a family. All right, everybody, let's spread out and let's get ready to warm up. We're gonna do some push-ups. Think about warming up your chest. There we go. Push that weight. Push that body up. There you go. All right, now let's do some circles. Circles. There you go. That's it. Alright, push-up time. Go. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Looking good. Look at those push-ups. Pretty good. He's only 4 years old and he can do a full push-up. Not just one. He can do a few. Keep the hips up. Let me help you out just a little bit. Come on. Down. Yep. Come on, come on. There you go. Alright, squat. Let's see those squats. Everybody down. 1. 2. Keep going.
3.
Yep.
4.
Yeah.
5.
6. Go down with it.
7.
Oh, hold on. 7. 8.
8. 9. 10.
11.
11.
All right, next we're gonna do some wall holds or some wall sits. Let's go. Ready, set, go. Mama, you can do it.
I'm doing it.
Burn. Come on, Selah. You can do it. You feel the burn yet? I feel the burn. It's burning. You smoking yet? Feel the steam? I do. You can do it, Selah. You can do it. Tell me I can do it. Please do it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah! And speaking of exercise and health, health has actually been one of our favorite subjects for many, many years. You worked as a massage therapist and you really have been into natural birth and just so many things with health, essential oils, herbs, all that fun stuff. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, I have as well. I've worked for years in the health and wellness industry as a nutritional coach, personal trainer, and even a pro natural bodybuilder, believe it or not. So health has just been one of those things that's been constantly on our mind and a subject that we're both really passionate about, and is one of the main reasons why we decided to be homesteaders. But here recently, I had some gallbladder issues. So that had made me look at things a little bit more differently and maybe look at some other areas in our life that we need to examine to see how we can live a healthier lifestyle. So here recently we've been looking at our water to see if there's maybe any contaminants, heavy metals and things like that in our water, because it's very important that you look at that. It's very important that we drink pure quality water. Yes. And because it does contribute to good health. However, if you're drinking contaminated water, it can do things to you and affect your body in a negative way. So recently we had our water tested. We have well water here, and for those of you who don't know, we live in a yurt and we actually do have indoor plumbing in this yurt and we get our water from our well. And well water actually needs to be tested as well, because with well water there can be things like glyphosate in your water or fertilizer runoff and many other things. So just because you have well water, that doesn't mean you're safe and in the clear for having good water. But if you have tap water, you also need to be aware of it as well. But back to our test. So we recently had our test done from a company called
Tap Score. And they have a whole host of tests. They have tests for even like all your drinking water, advanced well tests. We had one for glyphosate. You could test your pond water to make sure it's okay. There's so many different tests that they have on their website. It's really, really interesting. And I think they have like all the bases covered. And just the other day, we got our Tap Score water results. And I must say, they give you a lot of information. And it's really easy to read and understand, and you can print it out as well so you have a hard copy. And if there's any areas that are elevated, it gives you a lot of information that you can go to and just click on where it's like show more, and then you learn more about what exactly those are. The only issues that we have is that we have hard water, which we kind of already knew, and then we have elevated silica. But that's just because there's lots of quartz in the ground around here.
Yeah, we knew that about the hard water just because you can look inside the sink or in the toilet and it does have this kind of kicked around and it's scaly.
Yes.
So that might be something we have to get, what do you call that?
A water softener.
Water softener system to do that. But I really liked when first I was pretty nervous about getting the results back. I'm like, oh, who knows what's going to be in our water? Never been tested before, let's see what happens. And then once you got the results, and it was really neat that they had the results. It was like a really colorful graphic that was really, really easy to understand. Yeah. And it was really neat to see that we were in the clear, really were in the green. Was it green or good for all of our areas?
No, we didn't go past their little lines. It wasn't much in the orange that says just you're over, whatever. But a good thing that I really like about their website is that they have a chat support. So you can go on there and you can ask questions about your test results and get answers.
So guys, I really encourage everyone to have your water tested. Some of you may be using different filters. There's some that are far superior than others. Just because you're using a filter that you may have bought at your local box store, that doesn't mean that it is doing its job to filter out some of the things that you don't want to be consuming. So I really encourage that, and they actually have a discount.
Yes, there'll be a discount, and I'll list all of the information for that down in the description below.
Yep, so you can get your water tested at TapScore too. So I bet you're wondering, what is in the box, Mike? Well, I'm getting ready to show you. But first, before I show you what's in the box, I do want to thank whoever sent me this neat Just Troia mug and this little journal here, because they have come in handy. Somebody sent it to me. The note said for just my recovery, for my gallbladder recovery, and I really like it. This mug has been really neat, so thank you very much. I've been drinking a bunch of tea from there. We make a number of different herbal teas, like stinging nettle tea, and I also will do like a chamomile linden tea sometimes as well as plantain. There's all kind of like different herbal teas that we like to do around here. They're just good for you. So it's nice to know that I can use good water as I'm drinking my teas here. And the journal has come in handy as well. All right, well, back to the box. You're like, all right, enough. Tell me about the box. So in the box here, we have an Alexa Pure Pro counter-gravity water filtration system. Alrighty, so as I was thinking through about how to improve our water, I was really doing a lot of research on getting the best water filtration system that is around. I was looking at all kind of test results, and what I found is that the Alexa Pure is rated as the best overall water filtration system that you can get. So it removes up to 99.999, there may be another 9% of contaminants from the water. And it removes things like glyphosate. It removes things like drugs and things that you don't want to be consuming. It removes pesticides. It removes bacteria and so many different things. So even though our well water is good from the results that we have just gotten back, this can still be used. This can be still used for like even survival situations if we need to get water from the pond or lake or wherever else area we're in, whether it be just puddles or rainwater catchment. This system will work for that as well, and it will go right on the countertop. And even though we don't necessarily need to use this immediately, this can be used in so many different scenarios, like I was just saying. So they actually, on their website, they actually have some really helpful information about water itself. Even the tap water in our local area, even though we don't have tap water, I'm still like to know what's in the area from drinking. And there's over 8 major contaminants that the numbers are just really astronomical high as far as the percentage of contaminants that are in the water. So you can actually look at their website and you can look up your area to see what contaminants that you may have in your drinking water. And we'll leave their website in the show notes below. You can check that out, check on your contaminants of the water that you may be drinking. So that's really important. So let's get this open and see what it looks like. Alrighty. Filter right here.
When we lived in the city, we had a similar water filtration system as this, and the other one was bigger than this one, which could be a good thing, but it could also be a downfall because it took up a whole lot of space on your counter, and we had to have it in a whole other section of the kitchen. So this is slightly smaller, but
so perfect for tiny spaces, I guess.
Yeah, and we live in a smaller house now, so even better, right?
There we go. And actually that water filtration system that we used to have, we actually gave that filtration system to some family members who still lived in the city, and even then we were really concerned about water, mainly from just the medicinal
fluoride,
water,
chlorine,
and we really wanted to make sure that they were getting the best water that they could while they were still in the city. So we got ours here, almost got it put together.
Yep, almost.
Alrighty, this is wet, and that's good that it's wet because these need to stay moist. You never want to let these air dry. So if you're ever gone for an extended period of time, you want to make sure that you put these in a Ziploc bag and put it in your refrigerator, so that way it keeps the moisture that it needs to have to be able to work properly. That's what they suggest. So it only has one filter with this, but it does have sections where you could add more if you wanted to. But believe it or not, this can filter up to 5,000 gallons of water. Alrighty, so our Alexa Pure is all set and ready to go. But thankfully, it's not extremely critical for us to be putting this to use right now because of the results that we got back from TapScore. However, we do plan to use this in various ways, whether it be emergency situations, whether we're having to harvest rainwater or water from the pond and know that we can get safe drinking water from almost any source, fresh water source. So we do also plan to use it on trips when we go from trips to time, because you actually have some reactions sometimes to some of the water that is in other areas. And
you can taste the chlorine that's in it, and I really don't like that. And then you drink less water because you don't want to taste that. And so this would be a great addition, and it would be easy to take with us.
Sure could. And at times we do get sediment in the water, especially if the well is getting lower. So this can help filter out that whenever those times happen, especially when we're having to water a lot around the homestead for the gardens. So definitely we'll be using it for that as well. So guys, I really recommend, or we recommend, getting your water tested from TapScore and getting a filtration system like the Alexa Pure, which I highly recommend. And I'll also leave some links below for you to look at some of the test results comparing the Alexa Pure to some of the other filtration systems that are out there, because you want to make sure you're drinking good water, so that will help improve and keep you in good health. Surprisingly, the water has a slightly different flavor than it normally has coming out of our well.
It does.
Good. And it actually feels a little bit lighter to me. I don't know if it feels like that to you, but overall I like it.
Lighter? I don't know. You're just weird, baby.
The water's a
But
little bit
it's
lighter,
good.
a little bit softer, a little bit different flavor.
And I thought I was the water snob.
We both are pretty much water snobs. But anyways, so neat to have the Alexa Pure and to even know that we can go outside and, like I did earlier, and got some pond water, and we can even transform this into water that we can drink with using Alexa Pure. I don't think I'm going to resort to that. It has to be some really extreme survival situation. I would actually prefer to do rainwater first, so that would be my first go-to as a survival situation than the pond water. But the pond water would be a last result. But the Alexa Pure supposedly can do it. And if you want to get Alexa Pure or have your water tested, just as a reminder, check out the show notes below. See you next time.